Hello everybody. I thought we would just do a simple proof. So I know I gave you a couple videos and I went through a bunch of examples in the text lecture, but I figured we can go ahead and just walk through a couple of proofs as well. So the first thing to do is to just get all of your premises down, and all I'm doing here is just cutting and pasting the premises in. Now it's important to go ahead and use a table for your proof so that everything is organized. Otherwise it's very hard to read. And I know it's kind of a pain to format all this stuff, but it's really only for a couple modules. Now if you want, you could label the premises. Oops. And there we go. We have our three premises down, and they're on the first three lines here. Now we want to look at what we're trying to prove. We're trying to prove that R is true. Now you might not know how to get there. One thing you want to do is look through the premises and see if there's any way to get R. And here we see a conditional in which we can get R if we can just get not P. So we might think about how we could get not P. Well, some of you might have noticed that maybe you can get it through modus tollens if you could just get not Q. And oh look, here we have not Q. So you might see right away of how you can get to your conclusion. But if you can't, one of the things you should really just start doing is just breaking down as many of the premises as you can to as many simple parts as you can. And look, maybe some of these steps won't be used. So you can't really break down the conditionals, but you can break down this conjunction, the and statement here. And you can break it down into M, and you can break it down into not Q, right? And both of those are conjunction elimination on line 3. Now, we're not going to end up using both of those, but this is a good method if you're stuck. You just go ahead and just start breaking things down as far as you can and then see what you can do with your building blocks. Okay, so now we have not Q. What can we do with not Q? Well, again, as we noticed right here, if I have not Q, then I know that not P is true because of modus tollens, which is just one of the straightforward derivations. So you cite modus tollens this way, you cite the conditional, and then you cite the negation of the consequent, which is on line 5, and now you have not P. Well, now we have some new raw material. What could we do with not P? Ah, look, we can get R, right? So there we go, R, and you can cite that as modus ponens, 2 and 6, or another way to cite it is the conditional elimination. Again, 2 or 6. You do it whichever way you want, whichever way makes most sense to you. I tend to switch from one to the other, so either way is fine. We'll just do modus ponens there, and we have our conclusion. So we leave any lines 8 through 10 here. So there you go. There's an example. This is, of course, a very simple proof. A couple things to note is that most of the time for quizzes and tests, you will not be asked to create an entire proof from whole cloth. Instead, I will give you something, you know, like this, where I fill in these question marks, and then you'll have like drop downs or multiple choice to decide, what should go into these missing places. So you already have some contextual clues here. Now that's not all the time. Sometimes you will be asked to do a complete proof for written questions and so forth, but most of the questions will be along this lines. Okay, well I hope that that's helpful. I'll try to generate a few more examples. I'll talk to you later.